Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Roxy Whitney here, your favorite Rocket City realtor. And today we're going to be talking about all things taxes in Huntsville, Alabama and little areas around there. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So getting into today's video, I want to first start off with saying yes, Alabama is one of the best states in the entire US for property taxes in general. So you will be getting great advantages as for that. So as for Huntsville, Alabama, what makes their property tax rates so different from other areas and what makes them relatively stay pretty constant? And there's not a huge fluctuation between the years of their property taxes. That is because we are on a millage tax rate system, which basically means that it's multiplied by your assessed value of your house by the millage decimal point. And that ranges depending on what area you're kind of in. And I'm going to put up a graphic in a second that's going to break it down for you. So isn't that great news that you only have to deal with that millage rate instead of a flex rate based on what your government and your local authorities think that you need to spend money on? So you'll never really see a huge fluctuation and you'll always have a good idea of what you're going to be paying every year. So without further ado, let's take a look at that graphic. So as you can see here in the graphic, there's the inside of the city limits, and that's Huntsville city limits, and that's going to be assessed per every $1,000 on the property. So you can basically take the calculator that I have listed down below and figure out all of these with the listed millage rates. So that can help you too to give you a good estimate, and it should be around $50 on what you're actually going to see and pay. So in Huntsville, you see that it's lower than Madison, which is confusing considering Huntsville is the one that you hear of basically online everywhere. Madison is actually the best school district wise compared to the Huntsville area. And by saying that, I'm not saying that the schools are better per se, because I'm not allowed to say that as a real estate agent. I'm saying the schools are more well-known and recognized. So they are actually the top in all of the state, really, and they're also ranking really high out of the entire US. So they are amazing schools. And also, as you can tell, Triana is really close to the Madison tax rate on the millage system. And that is because when you're in Triana, you're actually going to be in the Madison school district as well. So it kind of runs hand in hand there. Still a little less than Madison, but up there a little bit nonetheless. And there's also, amazing opportunities everywhere. So that's just why those are a little bit higher. And then, so those are all your areas there. Of course, Owens Crossroads and New Hope are going to be, and even Gurley are going to be a little less because they are a little further out and they're not as well known. Now, if you're looking in Decatur or Athens or other things like that, those are actually in different counties. So those are going to be on different county tax assessors websites. I can get you all that information if you would like as well. But considering on with this list, when you look at the outside of the city limits, that's when you're going to look at the land rates and the improvement values. So take that as you will. I don't deal with them a whole lot. So now we're going to talk about exemptions. I know the part everybody has been waiting for. So getting right into it, we're going to get off with the first one, which is your most common kind of one. It's the one you're told about after closing on a house. And I know everything's crazy. You're in a new house. It's so exciting. But take the time to get this done. And I recommend getting it done as soon as possible because you have like a year to do it. So you have a while, but let's be honest, you'll probably forget. So after you're done with closing, take that nice new fresh deed and you're gonna go down, make sure you get your driver's license changed to have the same address as the new property. And you're just gonna go down to the courthouse, you're gonna take that stuff in, and they're gonna register you for a homestead exemption. Now, when you go to Madison County, they're a little more picky, so I recommend bringing a utility bill as well, just to really secure that over there. But everywhere else, you should be fine. You can bring one though, just in case. So that's your first kind of exemption. And I know what you're thinking. Everybody kind of tells me about it, but how much am I actually gonna save? Well, let me just tell you, As for the state side, you're gonna save about 10%. And I know, not a whole lot, but still a little bit. But the real pizzazz here comes in with your regular homestead exemption from the area, and you're gonna get 65% off of the actual value. So with those two together, you're looking at a really nice deal. You're gonna get a pretty good discount off of your annual property bill taxes, okay? So definitely take the time to get that homestead exemption turned in. Also, with your homestead exemption, after the first year, you're done. You don't ever have to file it again until you sell the property. So that is amazing. Also, another exemption you may not be aware of, but I plead you to tell everybody about this exemption. So this exemption counts if you are 65 years old or older. You can actually go down to the courthouse and file for it if it's not automatically done for you, and I highly doubt it will be, which is amazing. So you just have to bring in your driver's license and your matching deed information, and you can get that tax exemption off of there. Also, if you're 65 and over and you're lower income or retired or maybe a disabled veteran, you can qualify for even more. And I actually have a client of mine who pays $0 in property taxes. Okay, so make sure you really check that out if you're 65 or older. Now jumping in to when do I actually have to pay these taxes? When are these taxes figured? Okay, well, jumping right on into that, they're originally gonna be filed from the deed and changed into your name at closing, and this will be done by your closing attorney or your title company. So double check and make sure that they do have everything filed away and assessed properly. So after you make sure that all of that is good, then you'll basically just go on to your regular reoccurring kind of schedule, and it's gonna come out, your bill at least, will come out October 1st, and you'll have until January 4th to pay that. And then after that, it's gonna be overdue. So you have a good chunk of time to get that bill put in there. So just have that in mind. Also, they're figured out by October 1st of last year to September 30th of the current year. So I know, kind of an odd span period, but if you're really that interested, you can check it out online at the property tax appraiser's website. And you can also go onto the website and you can put in something if you don't agree with what your property value was assessed for. Do not do this if you don't agree that it's too low. If it's too low, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You only do that if it's too high, because then you're going to be paying more than you think you actually should be paying. So that's kind of everything in a nutshell. So to break it down just a little bit again, we have amazing tax privileges here in Alabama, especially in Huntsville, and it's because we're on a millage tax rate. So it's that flat decimal fee that just gets not added, but multiplied onto your property tax value. There's a calculator down below if you need help with any estimates as for that. And so amazing opportunities here locally. Also, make sure you rewind and check out that graphic for the exact millage tax rate in your area. Not to mention the area Madison and Triana are a little bit higher because of the school districts there. So just keep that in mind, and it's not that much, so you'll be okay. Also, don't forget to file your homestead exemption. Make sure you do it within a year after closing, and it's even better to do it just right after closing to make sure it's all in there. And if you're over 65, make sure you go check out all your exemption perks that you can get for that. And remember when they're due, you have October 1st until January 4th to get those taxes in and filed. So I hope this lovely tax overview was great for you and you got some awesome information out of it. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye.